Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today's video, we got a pretty special LX3310 that's going out. We want to talk about it as well as the lineup, the LX lineup itself. So let's dive right into it. First, giving you a quick overview of an LX and then what makes this unit beside me so special. So when talking about the LX lineup, there's 5 different versions you can get, 2 cab and 3 open station. The difference being the horsepower in the most part. With the cab version, you either get it in 26 or 33 horsepower. In the open station, again, is in that 26, 33 horsepower, or the SU edition. The SU edition comes in 26 horsepower, and then no mid-PTO and not as fancy of a seat or tilt steering on it. After that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see a LA535 loader installed on it. You know, there's a few kicking around out there, the early versions with the LA534. Whenever it was released, it came standard with a skid steer quick attach on the front. And at that point, you're either going to have a 54 or 60-inch front bucket on it. Most people are going to opt for the 60-inch. After that, you know, your lift capacities on that loader are 535 kilos, so about 1,200 pounds. Some of the options you get are third function, swift hatch, or self-leveling for it. And then whenever you move a little bit further back, again, your options are basically 26 or 33 horsepower in cab or open station. And then at the very back, whenever you're dealing with it, you can get a backhoe for it, a BH77. This is the biggest unit you can go with, just staying with a single seat. After that, whether it be the cab models or the LO1 series, you're going to be dealing with two seats. And again, with the mower deck you'll see installed on this one is a 72-inch. You can go 72 or 60. And then on the rear end itself, you'll see a box plate installed on it. You can get pretty much every attachment sized appropriately for the LX lineup available through Kubota and Land Pride for these units. So let's jump to talking about this particular unit, as it does have a number of options installed on it that make it a pretty special unit to talk about itself. So you'll see here is an LX3310. Well, what makes this unit so special is that seat. It is not an off-the-shelf seat that you can just go up to your local dealership and say, you know, I want what Huckabones installed on their LX3310. It's something that we basically had to invent here and modify, heavily modify to work with this LX. That seat comes out of a Grand L. You're normally going to see it in a Nordic Edition L6060, fancy air ride seats in them. But again, we incorporated that seat, took it and modified the seat pan and had to do some welding to it to come up with its own racking system to make sure that it worked. They are going to be using this tractor quite a bit. You know, the unit they're trading in has a number of hours on it, a few thousand to be exact. It's going to be used day in, day out, you know, for cutting grass, as you can see, and everyday maintenance, whether it be with the loader work or a box blade, and then moving snow in the winter. So that seat has to work. It's not just a one-day special where, you know, it has to do thousands of hours and continue to work. So again, we're pretty proud of it. Like I said, it takes a lot of modification to make it work. It's not something that you're just going to go to your local dealership. You know, it's something we're proud of. You know, it took a lot of work, a lot of man hours to make it work, and it is pretty special. So again, at the very end, we're going to do a demonstration and kind of do some up-close shots of it to kind of show how it all works and how it all came together. After that, some of the other special options that are installed on this, as you'll see up here, is a canopy, pretty standard, but again, they want their operators comfortable day in, day out, as well as having a lot of extra light. That's why you'll see the 2 LEDs positioned straight up and down instead of side to side. Again, focuses all the light forward for whenever they're moving snow in the winter. As well as you need to come up with a separate wiring harness. This isn't just a simple plug and play set of lights. Again, it's something that you have to make all the wiring up and have a switch in there to turn on and off. And then after that, you can't really see it, but in behind here is a set of wheel spacers. Again, this machine being used in the winter also comes with a set of chains for it for winter use. So yeah, so again, some of the options that I'm installing here are your wheel spacers, fancy set of LED lights, as well as that canopy to make it one of one. You know, it's been heavily modified to work for this application. So let's jump right to it, giving some close-up shots as well as demonstrating that air ride seat. So when operating the seat, there's obviously the one up and down to let in or out of air. And again, whenever it is all the way up, your knees are into the steering wheel, but you're not going to actually operate it in that high up. It's, again, at that point, you'd probably be very uncomfortable and not want to actually do that, as it would be very stiff. But it does have a nice dial here in the middle where it's going to be yellow if it's too far one way or the other, and then green whenever it's in the optimal usage area. So a pretty standard air ride seat. You'll see it air rides standard equipment in in your 70 or in your M5s and bigger kind of idea, and anything over 100 horsepower from any manufacturer is more than likely going to have an air ride. So pretty fancy seat, pretty awesome. Again, usually going to see it in a Grand L, but we've incorporated it to work with this LX. So on the 3-point hitch of this unit, you're going to see a QH15 as well as a BB1272. The nice thing about going up to an LX3310 is it gives you more horsepower for whenever you're using 3-point hitch implements. So in this case, you can oversize your implements. A standard box blade will be a 60, at most a 66 inch. Again, with this extra horsepower, you can go out to a 72, which again is needed because they have wheel spacers. So to get that little bit extra width is perfect. And with a quick hitch, you're able to pop that on and off real quick and switch between 2 or 3 different implements a lot quicker than if you didn't have a quick hitch. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Again, I hope you enjoyed learning about that it's possible to put an air ride seat on an LX. Again, this unit is one of one. You're not going to see any more out there with that on it. So if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.